up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Track Limits Championship for Race 5 from Dragon Trail Gardens, the other of our secret test tracks. Right, let's get ready for the action. Let's hand over to them taters. So here we go then, from Dragon Trail Gardens. It's a little bit dark in the garden. We need some lights around here. Joining me in the commentary box is Ray. How are you, Ray?
I'm not too bad. We need some solar panel lights in there.
That we do. Steve F1 on pole position with his championship rival David R in second place. And then who's that in third?
Oh, we got Twilight in third, followed by SGP in fourth.
Yep. Art Powell finished in 5th place, just ahead of Conrad in 6th, who had 0 practice.
We've got the Mad Sweet Jason with his buddy Dave the Harp. 8th.
7th and 8th. And then we had Gary in 9th and Hay in 10th. Unfortunately, a few drivers missing from today's race, but we know the deal is not going to detract from the action as we're 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go!
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Fucking hell, that wasn't even planned. Jesus Christ. Steve F1 got a good start there. And Dean got pressuring into the chicane. You must have been hovering over that button for ages then.
No, I forgot about them, and then this other server I'm on has put some in, so I was like, oh, what is this?
Yeah. Well, with the race is underway, Steve F1 still leading. Oh, Demon R having a cheeky look at the hairpin. The hairpin being one of the main overtaking opportunities around this circuit as we now head into a wonderful section, Ray. Very quick corners, but you got to look after the tyres through here.
Yeah, I just want to be easy on acceleration, braking and turning, because if you scrub the tyres too much, they're just going to heat up and wear. As we see Twilight keeping on the back of Demon R here.
Absolutely, through the quadruple right-hander. There may be a few different lines drivers use around that section of corners. However, some will hurt tyres and some will not. The other big opportunity for overtaking will be down into turn 1 and the first chicane, depending on how drivers get a run out of here. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th could all get an opportunity of overtaking here, Ray.
Yeah, there'll be different lines going to the John Deere's cliff as well, so it'll be one to watch out as we see SGP taking that early tight apex.
Yeah, into turn 1. I mean, it's all 3 wide on the pack cam now on the main screen. I think Gary and Dave are off. Oh dear, I think that may have been 3 wide into a tight 90-degree left-hander and didn't quite work, but that has allowed SGP to get a little bit closer to the back of Twilight For anyone that doesn't know, the John Deere curves that Ray mentioned is the double left-hander, the final 2 corners on the track. And you're absolutely right. There will be different lines through there, and I think a big part of it will depend on how the driver's tyres are handling.
Yeah, and they're braking at the start of the curve, so if they get it slowed down, good enough.
Absolutely. Okay, on the pack cam we see the leader battle, Steve F1, Demon R, and then we've got this battle for 3rd place, SGP closing in on 2 different lines there on the 3rd apex. How about the 4th one? Yeah, Twilight's lost out a little bit. SGP looking at making the move, going round the outside. It's not...
Well, we do a switch back here, he's just wetting the brakes. Twilight's taking the tight line. No, yes he is. There we go. Yeah, couldn't maybe have done him. He's pulled back in for the slipstream. He doesn't want to get caught out.
Absolutely. Demon R had a bit of a shocking final couple of corners as well, which allowed Twilight to get some slipstream. SGP having another look up the inside. This time gets it done. It's a little bit risky, isn't it? If you go quick into that first corner, you've got to make sure. Oh, and here we go, battle for the lead. A change of lead then into the first chicane. Oh, and a bit of a wobble on the curb. Drivers are going to have to be careful of taking too much sausage. The walls don't like it.
Did Steve F1 mess up unless he's turned one up or something, but he's coming back at Demon R for the Bunsell bend.
Yep, into the hairpin they go. SGP's got very close as well as the pack is also regaining position, closing in. Steve F1 under pressure once again. Oh, Demon R having a cheeky look into the right-hander. And something we may see, I mean, we mentioned about different lines throughout. Oh, now he's wide.
He's got a penalty, maybe? Okay.
Ooh, Connor on the back cam got ever so close to the back of Twilight. He's still there. I don't think Demon R has got a penalty, has he?
No, it doesn't seem it. It seems like he survived that one.
Yeah, in the background, I think that's Gary trying to make a move on. Well, Gary was looking to make a move on. So, oh, Conrod's deep at the final corners. Oh, Gary's gone wide as well. Go up, Artpath, sorry.
SGP on Demon R attacking him. Oh, I thought Twilight was going to bump him there, bump him past, but Twilight's going for the move.
Ooh, yeah, he is. Well, he's trying to do what SGP did to him a lap ago, isn't he? He can't quite hold it in there, though. But, yeah, fascinating stuff. And, well, oh, Demon R on the path. Oh, interesting. Demon R taking a different line through the chicane and actually closed up massively in the middle part on Steve F1. And Twilight's dropped back a little bit from SGP. Okay, this is fascinating stuff. Also should mention tyres. 2 tyre compounds available. Races Super Softs. Pat Cam. Who's that making a move? Conrad, has he gone deep? No, he's got it done. Lovely move.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I'm going to go because he looks for a pizza.
No problem. So, while Demon R's got wobbly on the curb, that could give SGP the opportunity that he's been looking for. He's definitely given the opportunity to close in. Demon R actually looked to go in a bit defensive. SGP, though, up the inside. I can't imagine them fighting too hard around this corner because it will kill the tyres. So, yeah, SGP gets that move done, but runs a little bit wide on the exit. So, as I was saying about the tyres, Racing Super Softs and Racing Softs available. However, this track is a little bit of a tyre killer as Dave Harper is trying to make a move on Formula Gary and Conrad, into the final couple of corners and gets that move done. But Connor may get a better run out of the corner. Yes, he does. And possibly has the slipstream ahead. So Dave may get hung out to dry as Gary also gives Connor a little bit of a bump draft. Artpal closing in on Twilight. Goes for that move that SGP did earlier. And it's caught Twilight out again. So maybe Twilight's suffering a little bit with his tyres. So as I was mentioning, on the pack cam, SGP's really closed in onto the back of Steve F1 now. As Artpal up to 4th place, trying to break away from Twilight. So yeah, the tyres, this track is a tyre killer. If the drivers can get 10 minutes out of the Super Softs, they've done really, really well. I don't know if we're going to see anyone using the softs much. Or as SGP was having a look up the inside. I don't know if Steve F1 knew he was there, but he'll know now. That he has. Are you trying to slice a pizza from distance or commentate from distance?
Sorry, my mic moved.
Fair enough. But yeah. Oh, holy crap! What?
You got caught?
No, that was you. That was nothing to do with me. Yeah. Oh, SGP, having a look. Yeah, that one's not as good as. Oh, you cuck. Okay, on the pack cam, it's getting very busy around Conrad and Dave the Harp. So, and Twilight's heading into the pits and is being followed in by Dave the Harp. That's a couple of minutes earlier than I think they really would have wanted to pit.
Yeah, unless they're going to drag out the middle stint.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, Steve F1's wide.
Depends how many stops they're going for. I think there'll be a free stopper then.
Steve F1's had a nightmare chicane. SGP's just going to breeze right past him. Looking at the tyre life for SGP, he's looking pretty good actually. Rear right's got a bit more than 50% left on it. He's got a bit less on his front right than SGP had, making a move on Conrad into the hairpin. Just about gets it done. Although may not have realised that Connor's front end was still there, just.
Yeah. And who's that Gary trying to follow through?
I think it is. Oh, Hay just had a bit of a wobble. Now a slide. Don't want to be sliding there. It's going to compromise the speed, kill the tyres. I think Jason's pitted as well already. Oh, Gary's off. Wow, that was a quick off, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's sliding it round. He's trying drifting.
Well, yeah, if driving normally don't work, try drifting. So, Hay going a little bit defensive then on Connor. And in the background, there's Twilight and Dave the Arp. They're catching up rapidly. So maybe this is a circuit where... Oh, Demon R's into the pits. Maybe this is a circuit where the fresher tyre and the boost is worth the pit stops. Conrad was on the soft compound tyre. So I'm not surprised he's perhaps sliding around a little bit. Twilight, though, having pitted a lap ago, now back up to 5th place already. And yeah...
Dave the Harp falling on through there. Gary very wide around turn 1.
He was, but he's got a bit of wear, so I think once you get a little bit wide there, you're just going to go wider and wider and wider. Yeah, he's struggling to kind of keep that car turned in at the moment. It'll be interesting to see, though, if SGP or Steve F1 are going to react to Demon R pitting on that lap. Is Gary going to go for the move? He's going to try. Oh, he's not got the brakes, though, has he?
He's not got the tyres.
Well, yeah. Got the brakes, but got no tyres.
He had the brakes, he stopped.
Well, true, yeah.
For a change.
For a change. Steve F1's front right tyre looking a bit worse than his rear right. Art Pals aren't looking too bad, actually. But we've got Jason, the leading car that has pitted. Twilight, Dave the Arp, and Demon R now is right behind Dave the Arp. All on fresh tyres, starting to close in. I think Demon R is on the 3 stop as well, having pitted after 10 minutes. It'll be interesting to see if we've got much of a difference, Ray, between someone who's just pitted and someone who pitted 2 laps ago.
Yeah, and Demon R want to be hanging around. You want to be getting as many moves done as possible, and so he can maximise against SGP and Steve F1 with the undercut.
Absolutely. Formula Gary pitting, so Demon R making the move on Dave the Harp into turn 1. It may take a little bit of life out of the tyres, but as you say, he needs to make sure he doesn't lose. And SGP and Steve F1 didn't pit, so they've not gone for the cover, which would then, Ray, or Twilight got a little bit out of shape through the middle of the chicane. Demon R's all over. Dave the Harp's actually having a look back at Demon R. If SGP and Steve F1 and Art Pal actually not pitting, maybe suggest they're going to try and do a 2-stop. Oh, Twilight! Oh, wow. It's a good job there's a bit of runoff there, isn't there?
Yeah, brakes were glowing.
Well, that's it.
Good. Cheeks were as well.
Yeah.
Clenching he did.
So now Demon R closes in on Jason. On the pack cam, we've got Gary and Conrad, who have both recently pitted. I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to be a race a lot like last week, Ray, where it come down to strategy, big time.
Yeah, I'll see who when everybody says pitters and probably go from there.
Yeah. Gary and Conrad side by side through the quadruple right-hander. Conrad's just got the move done. Demonar's trying to go round the outside of Jason, is he? Oh, dipped a wheel on the dirty bit. SGP into the pits. Oh, and Demonar wide. Ooh.
He doesn't want to be doing that.
No, and Twilight's back in the pits.
Oh, is it doing something sneaky?
Well, is it sneaky or is he just killing the tyres? Or is it, yeah, maybe it is just sneaky. If he feels he's losing time or getting held up, yeah, pit. Because the boost, I mean, this is the thing at the moment, the boost is working really well. So maybe doing extra stops isn't a bad decision. But Steve F1 and Art Pal have not pitted, they've carried on.
Jason's pitted, so he'll be net leader.
Yeah.
Once these two pit.
Absolutely.
So Jason's done pretty well then with his early pit stop.
Absolutely. I don't know what tyre he's on at the moment. I didn't see exactly when he pitted. I think it was about 4-5 minutes in. Demonar trying to get a run on Jason. Demonar seems to be a little quicker through the middle sector here. Or perhaps just taking a different line. Oh, Jason's wide. Demonar, is he going to try it round the outside or is he going to go for a switch back? Neither.
Jason's got it.
Yeah, typical Jason positioning his car. Oh, perfectly. Who went wide? I think that was Hay. And that's SGP now closing in.
Yeah, Hay or Gary. No, but Hay. SGP's it.
Yeah. So, yeah, SGP really closing in on Dave. Dave looks like he may be struggling a bit on the front end. And we've got pitters, Steve F1 and Arpal in the pits. They've only just pulled, so Demonar and Jay really closed in on them. SGP now battling with Dave the Harp.
Jason's in the pits as well.
Yes, he is. Ooh. Well, he's done about 10 minutes, hasn't he? Because if he pitted after about 4, he's just done 10 minutes. Well, this is fascinating stuff. Oh, Gary! I was about to say he's in a good position. And then he went and drove off the track. Tyre-wise, he was in a good position. But here now comes Twilight, who's just pitted a lap ago.
Yeah, with the fresh tyres, and he's covered off Steve F1. Steve F1's behind him.
Yeah, well, he jumped him, didn't he? So Twilight pitted a lap ago. Steve F1's just pitted. So yeah, Twilight's jumped him. But Steve F1 has only done one pit stop. Twilight's already done 2, and he's ahead. So doing the extra is working.
Yeah, and so Steve F1's got more work to do. He's got to get past Gary, and then he's got to get past Twilight with what a lap difference of tyres.
Yep.
Not going to be much. And we see who's at Arpal. Arpal
tried to stick his. No, Gary's wide.
And there's Jason. So
yeah.
Steve F1's got a battle on here, and here we go. The leaders, Demonar and SGP with the fresh tyres is flashing the tic-tacs.
I think
because
well, yeah, there is that. He goes, and to be honest, it doesn't look like Demonar's fighting that one, but Demonar has been on his tyres for nearly 6 minutes. So it's 6 minutes compared to like 2 minutes for SGP. So a big difference in tyre life, but that really does put SGP in a brilliant position. He's now leading the race with probably one of the fresher sets of tyres on. Steve F1's got really fresh tyres, but he's in 6th at the moment.
What does Demonar do? Does he stay out and try and keep off SGP's slipstream?
Maybe Connor was looking. Dave sliding. I don't know if that was Dave sliding to. He saw an arrow coming at him. I thought Connor had let him back through then for a moment.
I think it was more the back wheels locking up.
Could well be.
I wonder if he's got his brake bias to the rear,
or maybe
trying to save his front tyres,
or maybe all the way to the front, and the front stops quickly, but the rear wants to keep going. Oh wow, it's busy here. Behind Gary, Jason, who's now on the super soft tyre. I do believe he just did a stint on the soft tyre, but. Twilight, is that Twilight? Yeah, it is Twilight in 6th place. So Steve F1's got ahead of Twilight. Oh, this is busy. This is busy. Jason, I think.
Twilight wasn't stopping there.
Well, Jason, I think, just gave Twilight a little nudge in the middle of the corner there. Art Powell, we were looking at Slipstream, but Jason's got to give it Gary instead. And now Twilight splitting the Slipstream. Oh, Jason up the inside. Oh, Twilight's gone wide.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Twilight's lost 2 places by that little wide. He's going to lose a place to Gary as it comes thundering in.
Aye, that he doesn't. Twilight's wide again, so maybe he's just got offline, or maybe he's punishing the tyres too much. I mean, he's already done 2 stops, and he pitted after about 6 minutes, and then 6 minutes again. So maybe he's going to.
Right.
Well.
Dirty.
Ooh! They're not fine now, and I don't think Hayes are either. What happened there, Twilight? Wow.
I don't know what happened. Wasn't taking evasive again, was it?
It might have been, It might have been if taking evasive and avoiding a car ahead. Maybe not realised there was a car next to him when he did it. It's a possibility. Jason now closing in on Dave the Harp. Dave's tyres are knackered. Yeah, he's struggling. You can tell he's struggling for the grip, and this is where for Dave now. Obviously, he doesn't want to lose a lot of time, but he's got to focus. Just focus on get to the pits. Oh, that's the wall. Oh dear. Yep, I think he found.
Dave the Harp pitted 9 minutes, and then he's doing this in 10-minute stints. He may have to do a 4 stops.
Yeah, it's possible. Twilight was on the soft compound tyre on that stint tower.
He's moved to super soft now.
Yep, I think he was on super soft for the first stint as well. So Twilight pitting again, as have a couple of other drivers. But this would appear to be a race where I don't think it takes long to pit, but also, the boost is just so beneficial. I mean, Steve F1, where's he? He's in 6th. So he stayed out long, didn't he? Did about 14 minutes, then pitted, and he's not benefiting at all. Or is he?
Pitted again? I don't know.
He might have done. Let's have a look at his tyres. Come on, show us his tyres. Yeah, show us your tyres. Oh, Hayes wide. Oh dear. Excuse me. That's unfortunate. Maybe Steve has pitted again. Oh, Twilight dipping a wheel. Someone else was a bit slippery as well behind him. Twilight now running a little bit wide. Looks like the Pack Cam's going for a lap on board with SGP.
Half a second penalty.
That he
I think
did.
it was Dave the Harp. He's doing it on the straight. He's just getting rid of it on the straight.
That's one way to do it. Demon Ara's pitted, by the way. Jason also pitted. So that would be interesting. I think maybe Steve F1 has pitted again. I don't know. Or either that, or he just wasn't gaining. So Twilight, he's got nice fresh tyres on again. And once again, closing in on Dave the Harp. I must admit, there's a lot going on in this race. It's very difficult to keep track at the moment. SGP, though, he's been on those tyres for 8 minutes or so, I think. Yeah. Steve, they would know.
Yeah. So he must have pitted to get out the way of the traffic.
Yeah. Dave the Harp.
I thought he was ahead of them, but it was Twilight. I can't remember what position Twilight was in. I think he was in 5th, so maybe.
Well, maybe for Steve F1 it was a case of, he wasn't really making progress forward, so pit and get away from the pack and use the boost, and it's worked for him at the moment. The question now is, though, when will his next pit stop be, and will it be his last pit stop? As you said, Dave the Harp, I think maybe on for a 4-stop strategy, side by side with Gary at the moment. Here comes Twilight as well. And I think Twilight might be on for a 4 or 5 or 6 stop race. Are these guys
got SGP into turn 1?
All on his own? No, that is SGP up there in turn 1.
He's got a hell of a lead.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? I want to know what he's done to his car. All Twilight getting a bit of a bump draft. I mean, one of the things I will say is with SGP, obviously he's only done the one pit stop at the moment. Everybody else has done at least 2. So that will account for some of the lap time. The question will be, when will SGP's next pit stop be? I would guess around the 26-minute mark. It's busy. Gary and Jason, is it? Yeah, side by side. Gary getting a nice move done on Jason there. Gary with fairly fresh tyres. Jason with brand new tyres. And Twilight also with fresh tyres. But yeah, so other than SGP, everyone's having a really exciting race here.
Yeah, here's Steve F1 on the back of that pump now.
Yep.
What is he going to do? Is he going to go for the move, or is he going to work with that pal to try and get that gap down so it's not an easy pit for SGP?
Well, I think if Steve F1 has changed his strategy from a 2-stop to a 3-stop, or done something different, he needs to get past and close the gap if he can. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Art Power, I don't know what his tyres are like at the moment, but I think he pitted at a similar time to SGP. Yeah. Well, it's an interesting, because of the way those last 2 corners are, it can sometimes look like someone goes deep, but they're actually just taking their racing line. And on other occasions, it can look like someone's going defensive, but they're just taking a tight racing line. So maybe Art Power did go deep. But either way, Steve F1 through now into second place. And what can he do from here? Can he close that gap down as Twilight's in the pits again? Oh, David Jason, ever so close, and Ray's just got deadly silent in such shock at Twilight pitting again.
Sorry, I was
On mute.
I was counting the gap. It's about 19 seconds.
Oh,
SGP's got that's surely a pit stop, is it?
yeah, I think you're right by easy. I mean, I don't know for certain, but I do think the pit stops here are less than 20 seconds to complete them. But also, don't forget, Steve F1 has got fairly fresh tyres on right now, whereas SGP should be a little more worn. So Steve F1 should be closing that gap into SGP. But then the problem for Steve F1 is he's got Art Pal, Conrad, D. Bernard, Jason, Dave the Art, Formula Gary, right up his chuffter look, sort of.
Yeah. And then what SGP, how long has he been on these tyres? Can he do a 15-minute stint and get to the end?
Wow. It's a good question. He pitted after about 13 minutes. Who's that into the pits? It was it was
and Damon Arp late.
And Dave the Art. Oh. Well, hang on, 50. Well, this 15 minutes. Could they get to the end?
Unless they're doing a short one just to use a boost stop and whatnot, and then go for like an 8-minute pit stop.
Maybe. Well, yeah. Well, the thing to keep an eye on here then is.
Hi, I've been missing you.
Oh, hello, Jason. I've been missing you. So yes, right. Steve F1 had Art Pal, Demon R behind him. So let's see what happens regarding Art Pal and Demon R with them having boost. How long is it going to take for them to catch back up? But also, when was Steve F1? I've just hit my microphone and it smacked me in the face. I hit the back of the microphone and the phone bitch slap punched me in the mouth. Yeah, so Steve F1 has got another pit stop to do. Jason making the move on Conrad, or looking, and excuse me, can't quite get it done. Okay, Art Pal is in 7th, Demon R is in 8th. They're all coming through the quadruple right-hander now. They're closing in rapidly. Steve F1 is through the final corner now, and the pack is in it now.
Yeah.
Zach Connor.
He's been having a quiet race, hasn't he?
He has.
Thereabouts, but he's now in the pits, down on 8th.
Yep, Demon Art trying to make a move on Art Pal down the main straight. I mean, something we may be able to see here is if these guys are planning on doing another stop, we may see them push in a lot harder. If they're not, then we may see them not pushing as much. Oh, sausage. Oh, I thought that was going to be all over.
It's supposed to be a penalty sometimes, depending on the angle. If you're thinking, what's the word I'm looking? Thinking that sausage. Straddling it sometimes says you're off track.
Yeah, absolutely. Demon R getting close to the back of Twilight now. I think Demon R as well is one of the few that I've seen consistently take it up the inside. Oh, I don't know if Twilight saw that he was there, but they both survive. This would suggest to me, I think Demon R may be pitting again because he's driving a bit more aggressive. I think he's looking at making moves quickly.
Well, he's looking, but it's not happening.
No, that's true. That's true. Gary's SGP is pitted now. Oh, he's had a brilliant stint. He's only got 12 minutes to go in this race. Where's he going to come out? Is that Gary up the inside? Steve F1's
tires changed. Steve F1. Jason.
There's a few in the pits, and SGP's coming out ahead of the lot of them. Oh, the gap was big enough. I think if Steve F1 hadn't have pitted, SGP would have been out behind Steve F1, but Steve F1 knew he needed the tyres. Okay, this is fascinating stuff. Now we've got SGP still in the lead. Boring. Hello. Twilight, though, he's done God knows how many pit stops. He's in second place, but I think he's got another pit stop to do. Demon R challenging him now down towards the Bunsell Bend, which is this hairpin. Demon R looks like he's going to go for it here. Connor in the background trying to make a move on Artpal as well. Dave the Harp. Oh, Twilight going for a switchback.
Yeah, I just can't get it done, but...
can't get it up.
No, done.
Oh, sorry. Well, you can definitely get it done. Dave the Harp now got a... Yeah, go on.
Move on. Twilight, no, he's backed out, but Conrad's there.
Yeah, Connor's managed to get past Dave. He's got a penalty though. Oh dear. And interestingly, Demon R's been able to open up a little bit of a gap now to Twilight, so this is interesting. But I still think a lot of these guys need to pit.
I don't know, is Demon R going to have to pick his... like you said, he was trying to be aggressive and he's to get the overtakes done. Is he took too much out his tyres to get to the end?
Maybe.
Or be a sitting duck?
Well, maybe. Twilight, he's pitted. But yeah, you're right. If Demon R's pushing and going to go to the end, he may be a sitting duck at the end. Because one of the things we saw in practice was towards the end of the race, you do not really want to be on worn tyres because you can get absolutely mugged. But it all depends on who ends up where at what point. I mean, at the moment, SGP, he's in the lead. He's pulling away from everybody else.
Yeah, Steve F1 pit stops a big cost.
Steve F1. Oh, Steve F1, sorry, was late on the brakes there, going for the move on Artpal. Jason nearly followed him.
Full send.
Yeah. I was going to say something else, but I won't. But yeah, he definitely full send. But things Steve F1 pitting when he did would suggest to me he's pitted to go to the end. It'd be interesting to see how long it's going to take Twilight or to Steve F1. I'm looking at Dave. So is he going to make a move? Oh, someone was wide in the background. Artpal, Connor a bit wobbly on those. Go on.
See the difference in Steve F1's driving now. He's pushing.
Well, I wonder if he's pushing to try and close in on Demon R. Steve F1 up the inside of Dave the Arb. Because let's not forget, in this current situation, Demon R and Steve F1 are tied on points in the championship. So if SGP wins this race... Oh, Demon R... Yeah, he's in the pits. Well, if Steve F1 has been pushing to catch up Demon R, he's now just realised that Demon R is going for the fresh tyres. Ooh.
What does Steve F1 do now? He's dusty out and hopefully it's too busy for Demon R to get back out.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Steve F1 only pitted, 4 minutes ago? Something like that. So yeah, it's going to be a tough call. Jason, though, is on the back of Steve F1. Art Pal's dipping wheels on the grass for fun. Hey, having a look up the inside. Dave the Orb. Whoa! Yeah, I think he might have missed his braking point there. And he has got red wheels, by the way. That wasn't his brake disc glowing. So Twilight, he's not that far away now. Demon R. Well, the thing is, Twilight's ahead of Demon R. So Demon R's lost out a bit, but Twilight pitted a lap earlier. Ooh. Oh yeah, sorry, Dave is recovering, isn't he?
So this could be interesting then, because we've got Steve F1. Has he got the tire? Has he pushed his tyres too much, trying to get up to Demon R, and Demon R pitted, and then we've got Twilight pitted a lap before Demon R. So they're free. Going to be an interesting battle.
Yeah,
Twilight looking for a good line.
Dave's going to pit. Yeah, Dave was sideways big time. Dave pitted now. And Hayes pitted as well. I don't think they're out of this race. I mean, with 8 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go, they can catch back up. Okay, so Steve F1 is now on the back of Conrad. How are his tyres? They don't look too bad. But how will they be in 7 minutes? That's the question. This is fascinating. Like I said, it's interesting. The battle down the whole field is exciting. But let's not forget that we have got a battle for the championship as well. And Steve F1 and Demon R are tied on points. And so if SGP is going to win this race, well done, congratulations. But Steve F1 and Demon R are going to want to beat each other. At the moment, there's a bit of a gap between them.
Demon R at the back, get that shot there. So Conrad's holding Steve F1. Well, I wouldn't say holding up Steve F1. Steve F1.
He's keeping him behind him. He's keeping him behind him. But it's not the first time that Conrad's done it, is it? He did it a couple of races ago as well, or it might have been the last race. Steve F1's got a good run here.
Japan as well.
Oh yeah.
This is going to get dicey into John Deere cuffs.
Yep.
Why did we name it John Deere cuffs?
I don't.
Oh
dear.
Outside.
It might have been for oh.
Conrad's gone for the pits. Is he? It looked.
Yes.
So that's another one with what, 6 minutes to go?
5 and a bit minutes to go. Well, I think
he can just boot it to the end.
He can.
He doesn't have to look after anything. Jason on the back of Steve F1 as well.
He doesn't have to look after anything, but I think he's
Jason's
pitted
got
a
nice
bit.
tyres. Twilight's got nice tyres. And look, here they all come.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah.
is going to be interesting.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think. Art Powell pitted. Oh no, Art Powell didn't do this. He didn't do the extra stop. He pitted with about 15 to go and hasn't pitted again. Okay, so Steve F1 now. This I think is in a potentially dangerous position with Jason behind him, Twilight behind him. But this is a situation though where if Demon R gets too aggressive with Twilight here, they could lose time, and Jason and Steve F1 could run away.
Demon R wide.
Don't want to go doing that.
No, he doesn't want to. Oh, he's going in the inside of Twilight. Is he going to? And then Twilight's going to have the inside line for the John Deere cuffs. So this is going to be dear.
I don't know if that was brave or stupid, but they're side by side. Twilight taking the tighter line, or Demon R taking the much wider line. That's allowing Art Pal to actually close in. I think Demon R's a little bit wider than he really wanted to. I think he's compromised himself there. So instead of getting a decent slipstream down to turn one, he's not getting enough.
Is he going to throw up the inside? Because we know sometimes Twilight doesn't hold that line. He goes a wee bit wide, but no, he's kept on there. I don't know why he's got SRI bad by on the back. Because every time SRI's... that's Demon R's risking it for a biscuit here.
Absolutely. He's not afraid of that sausage. Not afraid of the sausage. Side by side with Twilight. Twilight's got the inside line. But we saw Twilight do a switchback on Demon R earlier on. Dave the Arc coming in as well, getting very close. I think Twilight's held on. Demon R's gone wide.
This is playing into Steve F1's hands.
It is, because there's only 2 minutes left of the race. Oh, that was close.
So we do have a leader, he's SGP, but he's a boring.
Yeah, he's all by himself. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, SGP is having a cracking race. It's just nobody wants to see it. All right. Oh dear. I tell you what, though. Look who's in that pack of cars there.
Conrad, and he's got to he's back with Dave the Hart.
He's gone wide. Oh, Connor. Oh dear. Okay, Demon R, has he got a better exit out the final corner this occasion? I think he has. Can he go for it down into turn? He's not close enough.
No, I think Jason's slipstream's just keeping Twilight. Now giving Twilight that extra edge.
Maybe.
But Jason's on the back of Steve F1.
He is, right. We've seen Demon R go for the inside into the chicane. He's gone again. He's risky. He's definitely. There's Connor.
He's got that inside line. What's Connor going to do? Is he going to bump draft Twilight?
He's bumped after Twilight back ahead. Oh dear.
Oh, Connor going away.
Yeah,
Demonar's on the outside this time. No, he's not. He's stuck in behind.
That he is. Twilight holds on. No, he's not over the inside. This was a bit of contact sideways. Done well to save it, but that's Connor through. Wibbly wobbly all over the curb now. He's plummeting. Connor making the move on Twilight. There's a minute and 10 seconds to go, so I think there'll be another lap after this.
Yeah, Conrad's in a good position here. He can. His tyres are hardly anywhere.
Well, hardly anywhere, but it's a lot of wear for only having been on him for 3 minutes. But you're absolutely right. He can just absolutely nail it to the end.
Yeah, look at him gaining already on Jason.
Yeah. So Jason, as you said, I mean, he's gaining on Steve F1. I mean, these two have been.
Going for it? Is he going to throw it?
He is. He's going for it.
Well, not throw it. He's going for the move.
It's a lovely overtake that.
F1 not really fighting it.
Can he do anything? Can he come back at him at all? In the pack, we've got Demon RBI, Twilight, and the gaggle of cars closing in. What has Jason got?
There's Conrad.
Is
Conrad going to slow down Steve F1? They might come back to Demon R here.
It may be. I can see Connor going for this up the inside. He's got to with those tyres.
He's gone for it.
Can he get it stopped?
Can he get it stopped?
Twilight!
Not getting it stopped.
What's that, Twilight?
You're
letting Demon R back through. Okay.
Is Steve F1 going to go slowly backwards? Can Demon R get him in this last sector? It's the final lap. We do have.
He's on him.
He's going to get Jason. Come on, Conrad.
Can he?
Don't wear your hot pants. Please do not.
He's giving him a little nudge. He's letting him know he's there. But
Demon R on the back of Steve F1 as well.
Yeah, he is, but also Dave the Arp. He's got Twilight and Hay on him. Conrad, here we go then. SGP's already on the main straight. We may cut to that in a moment. Is Conrad going to get the move done? Yes, he is. Can he hold it? Can he get it back in? SGP's won. Well done, bugger up. Come on. Connor is ahead. He's in second place. Jason can't do anything about it. What about Demon R and Steve F1? It's close. It's not close enough for Demon R. And then, everybody else has crossed the line already. Wow.
What a finish that was.
Yeah, what a finish. I need to grab a drink. I wouldn't normally do this, but my throat's killing. So you just have to talk for a moment, Ren.
No worries, that was fantastic racing. I thought Steve F1 was going to be a sitting, but he wasn't. And but fantastic racer. I don't even know who bloody won the order because you never gave me the sheet because you were keeping it a secret. So fantastic racing. Twilight done well, holding up Demon R for quite a while there. Let me
Yeah.
just.
So I've got
get-
I've got a results sheet to send you, but yeah, I didn't send it to.
Yeah,
I didn't want to spoil it for you.
because I wasn't at the race, unfortunately. But
Was you not? I thought I did not see you on the track.
nah,
Oh,
you only see bye. But yeah, let's see.
but yeah, it was absolutely brilliant race. I mean,
Conrad, that last pit stop just set him up nicely.
I mean, normally hitting that late, yeah, it's not going to do much. But let's not forget, Twilight did it earlier in the season, didn't it? Similar thing. Like I think with 2 laps to go, went from like 7th to 3rd or something. And I don't think it's the kind of thing that would work at every track, but just at this track, it would seem that doing more pit stops was the more beneficial way to do it, apart from SGP. But yeah, what a race.
But he had nobody to battle with, so
True.
he could save his tyres
Yeah.
by coasting into the corner, not having to hit the brakes as hard.
Absolutely. Which reminds me, on this week's G-Spot, we have got a corner analysis from Monza, each car. Very interesting to show the different ways that things are done. Hopefully it'll be interesting to see that. So that's on this week's G-Spot, folks. Make sure you check that out. But yeah, you're absolutely right with SGP here. He did the first stint normally, and he did have to make up places in that opening stint, but he had the pace and he had good tyre life. Once he pitted and Steve F1 stayed out, the race just sort of fell into his hands, didn't it? Because when he did his next pit stop, he came out ahead. So yeah, he was able to pace himself, and it just goes to show that you can still be very, very fast while not driving very, very fast.
Yeah, he done very well. Conrad, his last pit stop set him up for a great ending. I don't know where he came out in the pits, but he had a few moves to make, and he made sure he made the moves. Jason, he had a fantastic race. He was battling with Steve F1 and Twilight at different parts, and
Do you think he was biding his time at the end? He was just waiting until that last lap to pounce on Steve F1.
who, Jason?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But I only mention it because he was following Steve F1 for a good, I don't know, 6-7 minutes towards the end, and it looked like, you know, like when the pack was battling a bit, and you were saying like, oh, this will play into the hands of Steve F1, which it did. But I think if Jason had been attacking Steve F1, it wouldn't have played into either one of their hands. So I think Jason's played
That's sawed each other down.
Yeah, and Jason would have probably killed his tyres more also. I think Jason's played an absolute blinder there, to just stay away from the pack and then pounce on Steve in the first corner. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
And then Steve F1, Demon R. Points, it looked like Steve F1 couldn't get through the pack, and then Demon R, it looked like he couldn't get through the pack. It was just Twilight mainly holding Demon R up.
Yeah.
I think Steve F1 took an extra pit stop or something.
Steve did the 3-stop, didn't he? He pitted late to begin with. I think it was about 14-15 minutes, but then pitted again about 4 minutes after, and then pitted with about 14 to go, I think, something like that. So he changed, I think, on the fly from a 2-stop to a 3, which at the time worked out for him well, getting out of the pack and gaining places. But at the end, with everybody else on fresher tyres, I think in a way he's lucky to have ended up in 4th.
Yeah, Dave the Harp, we've seen him a couple of times in the wall. The back wheels locking up. But yeah, it looked like he was having a fantastic race when he was side by side with people and whatnot. Hay we didn't see too much of. A few times battling Twilight. I don't Twilight down in 8th. I thought he was further up, but
I think unfortunately for Twilight, I don't know what just popped in my ears. Yeah, unfortunately for Twilight, he there was the little bit of contact between himself and Demon R. And I can let you know that at that time, Demon R did sort of call out, don't slow down here, because it's just too many cars and all that. To be honest, I think Demon R, I think I know what Demon R thinks. I wasn't necessarily expecting Twilight to slow down or wait. I don't know if Twilight slowed down or waited, but Twilight did seem to go deep at the hairpin, which let Demon R through. And unfortunately then for Twilight, I think he just got swamped in that final half the lap, and not a lot you could do about it, unfortunately.
yeah, and then for my Gary, seen him in with the battles. He was on there fighting in the pack. Can't remember too much. He had a couple of offs, didn't he?
He did have a couple of offs, yeah, but he had I mean, most of the times we looked at him, his tyres were in good condition. He was in a potentially good position. So it's difficult to know exactly what's gone in his race, but there is a point I want to make in a moment, so I'll let you round out.
And Artpal was up at the lead. I don't know what's happened to him. Maybe pit strategy. Did he do the 2 pits? Because
I think it was 2, but his last pit stop was at 15 minutes, the same time as Demon R. And if you might not remember, but at the time we were talking about, right, okay, well, are they going to get to the end? You said they might do another stop. And we talked about, like, if it looks like they're pushing or not, and we could see that Demon R was pushing, which hinted at he's making another stop. Artpal went the other way. He went to look after his tyres and sort of, I think, got to a point where he realised, okay, I should have pitted, but now it's too late. Unfortunately, in hindsight, if Artpal had pitted with 5 minutes to go or 4 minutes to go, he could have finished higher up the order, I think, or potentially could have finished, because Conrad, pitting 5 minutes to go, was able to get back in it. So unfortunately for Artpal, I think choosing to stay out and stay on the longest stoppers hasn't paid off for him there.
Yeah, well, fantastic racing from the drivers. Like,
Yeah.
that was epic. Like,
Yeah.
Gemma wasn't there in the race. I would have mixed it up a wee bit more.
You'd have made a right mess of it. I mean, the thing is, what I do want to mention is, I mean, I'm looking at the gap between the finishers here. SGP had a 9.5 second lead, untouchable today. The gap between Connor and Jason, 0.4 of a second. The gap between Jason and Steve F1, 0.5 of a second. The gap between Steve F1 and Demon R, under 1/10 of a second. The gap between Demon R and Dave the Harp, 0.8 of a second. The gap between Dave the Harp and Artpal in 10th, 0.5 of a second. So there's 5 cars within 0.5 of a second of each other, and the whole field covered, apart from SGP, by 2.5 seconds. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And no massive carnage or crashes in those final few corners either, that I remember seeing anyway. So, yeah, really good stuff. Absolutely brilliant to see.
Fantastic. Oh shit.
What?
I forgot.
Go on.
I've not said hello to my number 1 fan.
Mm.
Guinness, hello. I hope you're doing well.
What's that, Gerald? Oh dear. Well, she asked me to ask you a question, funnily enough.
Yes.
Yeah. She asked me to ask you this, ask you, why isn't there a pregnant Barbie doll?
There is.
There isn't. Not a pregnant Barbie doll.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't, because Ken came in a different box.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Oh, yeah. Okay, shall we discuss the next track?
I like how you just went with a joke and never asked. Kind of went, why would you know if Barbie there's a pregnant Barbie?
Well, you've got kids, so I would expect you to know a bit about Barbies. So, is there a pregnant Barbie doll?
I'm sure there is.
You're going to Google it now, aren't you? And this is where you're going to find out that there's a new movie coming out with Margot Robbie as Barbie.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Trailer. Or have you seen the film? Okay, next track. While Ray works out whether there is a pregnant Barbie doll, the next track is...
It was taken off the shelf. It was taken off the market.
Oh, maybe people thought it was offensive.
There's other things to be added into that, which I'm not doing due to YouTube.
Fair enough.
Set up yourself, guys and
Yeah.
girls.
Yes. Right, okay, next track is Spa.
Oh, that's going to be a nice track.
Well, interestingly, having done a couple of laps a few days ago, the tyres would appear to survive quite well. And let's put it this way, after 3 laps, the tyres are still in good condition, and the lap times have got to be, I think, somewhere in the 150s, if not 2 minutes. So 3 laps, 2 minutes, each a lap, 6 minutes. Okay, I think we could be seeing a 2-stop on the super soft tyre. But it depends on how the tyres are when they wear a lot more. But I think the last 2 tracks, Gardens and whatever we did before Monza, well, Monza didn't wear them that much, but there was an offset. And the last couple of tracks have been quite punishing on the tyres. I don't think Spa will be. But
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends how they go through the. Is it pull on?
Yep, poo on, exactly. But not only that, penalties. We've got a Spa.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen drivers having penalties so far, and we expect it to happen. But Spa's one where people could get punished quite heavily because it's easy to go wide at turn 1. Eau Rouge, Radion, it's very easy to end up off track there. The chicane at the end of the Kemmel straight, it's easy to go straight on there. The right-hander
Down the hill.
and the hill, it's easy to go wide there. No name, it's easy to cut it and hit a bollard. It's easy to run wide as well, and you can run wide and spin and still get a penalty. So drivers need to be careful there. P1, how many times have we seen cars go wide at P1?
Quite a lot.
And could be getting penalties. The next chicane, you don't normally see cars go wide, but then the Stavalos, the double right-handers. I can tell you from practice, I ended up very, very wide on the second one of those and got a 2.5 second penalty.
And in the corner before the chicane.
Yeah, Blanchiment. It's not flat out in these cars.
Yeah. People just miss either lifting or hitting the brakes. I don't know which one it is. I've not practiced, so don't take any of my advice on either you have to brake or
It's
you
flat
have
out,
to...
it's flat out, don't worry.
Yeah, flat out. Okay, I'll remember that. Yeah, if they get their turning wrong or the speed wrong, they're going to go wide there. And that's going to give them probably a penalty. Chicane. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. I think there's enough danger in that chicane to want you to stay on the track anyway, but yeah, it's still something that drivers are going to have to be careful of. Also, the pit entry, they're going to have to make sure they don't cut the pit entry. I think I don't know for certain, but oh, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I don't know about the pit entry, but it's something drivers may need to be careful of. But we know it's a brilliant track. These cars should be good around there. And I think if drivers can look after their tyres a little bit around there, then I think I could be completely wrong, but whereas the track we just raced today, more pit stops was better, I've got a feeling at Spa it could be the other way round. But it all depends on the boost and the pace of the race and whether drivers are battling or not.
Yep. Maybe the last pit stop when you do it early enough to catch back up, or you're going to leave it late that you don't catch back up.
Yeah, well, let's not forget.
It's a long lap.
It's a long lap and it's a long pit stop as well. If I remember right, it usually takes about 30 seconds. It may be a little bit less with not taking fuel, I could be wrong, but I'm sure it's quite a long pit stop there. So yeah, I mean, if you've got a 15-second lead, you're not pitting and coming out in front like SGP has today. I think you're pitting and coming out at the back. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes, that's for certain.
Yep.
Right. Well, just before we round up, I do want to apologies. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm sorry about that. Right, I will just want to point out, I've made a bit of a joke about it, but SGP's race today, credit where credit is due. When everybody else was struggling with tyres, he's absolutely blitzed it. So absolutely well done. I think deserves to be up in that championship fight. And when you're giving credit where credit is due, I think you have to hand it to blind prostitutes.
Yeah. What are you calling SGP a blind prostitute?
No, I'm just saying you have to hand it to blind prostitutes.
Yeah.
Right, Ray, thank you very much for joining me on commentary.
No worries.
And
thank you for having me. Been a pleasure.
You're welcome. Let's check out the confirmed race result and the championship standards. Okay, quickly before we do confirm the race result, just to mention there was a couple of reports placed. However, when the stewards gathered to do their thing, the GT Sports servers were down, which didn't allow us to access the footage. So we've not been able to actually do the stewarding for this event. We will get it done later in the week though, and if any penalty points are to be applied to anybody, they will be sorted out on the next race videos. One of the benefits is of us doing penalty points rather than time penalties for race finishers. Okay, confirmation then, or pre-confirmation of the race result. SGP victory, maximum 20 points, great result for him and a phenomenal drive. Conrad, what a storming run through the end. Second place, 17 points for him. Jason was so close to keeping that second place, but third for him, a brilliant result, 15 points. Steve F1 just held on to fourth place, 13 points, a fraction of a second ahead of Demon R in fifth place on 12 points. David Hart finished in sixth place on 11 points, with Hay in 7th place on 10, Twilight in 8th place on 9 points, and then we've got Formula Gary in 9th on 9th on 8 points even, and then in 10th place we've got Art Pound on 7 points. But yeah, absolutely fantastic race. As we've seen before in the DGT League, it doesn't take a full grid to have action. We get plenty of it. Okay, let's take a look then at the confirmed championship standings. So Steve F1 topping the table on his own now. We're taking that 1 point advantage over Demon R. So Demon R in second place. SGP now though jumps up to third place on 64 points. Moves Twilight down to fourth, who is now tied with Conrad, both on 57 points. So that sort of storm from Conrad, that storming finish, was actually more than just a second place. It does move him way up the table, and tied now for fourth. Jason, a good result for him, 6th place in the standings on 48 points. He's got a 5-point gap to Artpal in 7th place, who's got a 3-point gap to Dave the Harp in 8th. SRI in 9th place on 39 points, 6 points back to Gary in 10th place, and then we've got 7 points back to Bob in 11th. Only 3 between Bob and Rich, who's in 12th place, and then 2 between Rich and Hay. Jimmy, though, with him not being able to make, I think he's only been able to make 1 or 2 of the races so far. 14th place, 9 points for him. As mentioned, been a brilliant event once again. There is going to be a G-Spot this week, and it will feature what will be potentially an extended stewarding section, really, because we're not been able to do the stewarding this week so far. Next race, as we mentioned, is at Spa, so you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, ring that notifications bell, and feel free to leave a comment if you like. Merchandise is available as well. Check out the link in the description, the Streamlabs website for the DGT merch. Custom items are also available. Other than that, the only thing left to say is have a good one, everybody. Thanks for listening, watching, and we'll see you all again soon.